Hi guys, and welcome to the Lowland League Catchup. Today it's myself and Mozza again.
Hiya.
And today we're going to start the episode again by thanking everyone for their support. We've had absolutely amazing feedback once again. Looking at the numbers, obviously, we're quite happy how it's going, and we really do appreciate everyone that's sort of, played throughout YouTube and SoundCloud. We're obviously looking to get on iTunes. I know a lot of people have wanted to see it on iTunes as well. We are working on that, as well as other things. People watching this video on YouTube will be able to see that we've obviously changed some of the way we've done it. We obviously have more of a standardised way of how we're doing the videos, and yeah, we can only go from here. We also have some new things that we're working on as well, so that's why your feedback has been invaluable. We'll just jump into the weekend's matches. I believe you were at BSE Glasgow Edisport, Mozza?
I certainly was, yeah. That wasn't a 2-1 win for BSC. If you'd seen Edusport's tweet, you might have seen it was 2-2 in the end, because there was a very, very late equaliser from, and forgive me for the pronunciation already, guys, Max Owato, the left back for Edusport, sneaking in at the back post. But no, it was a decent game.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you if it finished 2-1, because there was a bit of conflicting reports on the result of that game. It's obviously that's probably disappointing from BSC's point of view.
Aye, obviously 2-0 up with 10-15 minutes to go, you expect to see the game out, so no doubt it will have been disappointing for Swifty and co.
Yeah, fair play for Edisport coming back into that.
Absolutely.
We do have an interview with BSC.
Right, obviously this isn't what I thought it was going to be. What did you think about that? What was your point of view?
I thought the way we set up, and we knew they were a kind of possession-based team coming out for the back. Thought first half we let them hit it in areas that they weren't going to hurt us. Didn't really have a chance. Thought we were disciplined. Just waiting on the right moment second half, which came. 2-0 up with 6 minutes to go is just unacceptable. Players, it's no young boys we're dealing with. It's experienced players making terrible decisions and not being able to close out a game. So it's just unacceptable. Terrible, absolute terrible to be 2-0 up, criminal. 2-0 up, 6 minutes to go. Just can't get my head around it, to be honest with you, how bad it is.
Do you think it can be said about the fact there was two yellow cards and none of them before tackles or even edge spots? It's just players losing their head.
Nah, I just think boys were getting frustrated because they worked hard, but I mean that going to happen in games, but just absolutely can't believe it. No, gutted.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
So we've got new league leaders. Civil Service Strollers 1-0 over Dalbeattie. Bit of a shock. I think we mentioned it a wee bit last week. Obviously, they're a bit of a surprise. We spoke about Gary Jardine's influence as manager with his experience of winning the league with Edinburgh City. The thing that sort of came out to me was obviously Stephen Froud, back from Leaf Athletic, who was their top scorer last season, so that's really good to see him back. They won 1-0 with a Robbie Laird header. It'll be interesting to see where they go from here, I think. Obviously, East Kilbride do have 2 games in hand, but Civil Service certainly a surprise of the season, really, so far anyway.
Yeah, definitely. It's really good to see that, there always seems to be one team that comes through that nobody's really expecting to do something. So fingers crossed they can keep it going and really push on this season and just make things a bit more interesting. Anything that throws it out of whack is good by me, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got a few sort of interesting fixtures coming up. Obviously, we'll probably be looking to see how well they do against East Kilbride and the likes of Spartans and whatnot. But they start their South Challenge Cup defence at the weekend, and they've also got a pretty tough fixture against Genefield Swifts, who obviously put out East Kilbride in the Football Nation Qualifying Cup as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting from the Edinburgh side, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And from yesterday's game, from when they got the better of Dalbeattie 1-0, like you say, we've actually managed to get the thoughts of both managers. So Darren Kerr from Dalbeattie and firstly Gary Jardine from Civil Service, and we'll throw it to them just now.
Yep.
Gary, what's your thoughts on today's game? I thought that it's an old cliche that you can score too early, and I thought that the first 20 minutes were excellent. We got a goal after only 6 minutes or so, and at that time we were playing kind of some really good stuff and we had Dalbeattie in the back foot. As the first half were on, Dalbeattie grew into it after we missed a few chances, and we then played as if we had something to hold on to rather than playing our natural game. And well, disappointed with the performance from the half hour mark. I thought the boys showed a bit kind of different side to their game. They stuck to their task, dug in, supported each other, and for that alone I think we deserve the 3 points and another win on a decent wee run we've got.
Obviously the season so far has had a few injuries. How's that impacted on your squad selection?
It has. It's impacted in a bad way, taking into account the bodies missing and the quality we've got out just now. However, on the positive side, it's forced us into kind of changing our shape and perhaps become a bit predictable for other teams to play against. And the changing shape certainly helped the last 2 weeks.
Darren, you come to Civil and gone away, 1-0 down. Do you think you deserve more from that game?
I thought we played well enough to deserve something out of the game. We started slow, and Civil started the opposite. They were on fire first 10 minutes. They didn't give us any chance to settle, and they took the lead. And after that, I thought we took over. We played reasonably well. Big improvement for last week. We just couldn't find that killer edge in the last third. We didn't cause a lot of problems first half, but we felt we had a couple of half chances that boys should have done better. Crosses coming in, pulling out the headers. But all in all, I thought we played well enough to deserve a point. If we got a goal, I'd have thought we would have went on and won the game. But credit to Gary, he sets up his team really well, and his set pieces are always dangerous, and he goes out not to lose many goals throughout the season. And again, it showed with Edinburgh City, and it showed today. It's rubbing off on you boys the way he plays, and it was hard for us to break his down. So got to give credit to them how well Civil defended, and always dangerous on the attack when we did try and push bodies forward and left ourselves a little short. But I thought all in all the game we did deserve something.
Yeah, so there you go, the thoughts of the two managers there. Thanks to them for letting us get those thoughts on tape and share them with your good selves. Other than the Strollers Star game, the other one in the Lowland League itself at the weekend was at Broadwood, where Cumbernauld Colts managed to squeak through against East Stirlingshire 3-2. And we had a wee chat about this earlier on, mate. And you've got some thoughts on the Colts front pairing, don't you?
Yeah, I think they're developing a really good partnership. Sean Brown obviously getting the brace, and Fraser Team among the goals for Colts against Shire. Yeah, from what I've seen of them, they're really good together, I think, and that was just really going to push Colts on to sort of the top half of the table where I kind of expect them to be. But yeah, one thing you can always say about good football teams, they always tend to have like a good front two, and I think that's really helping the Colts get some decent results.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, obviously we mentioned at the very first podcast that Sean Brown was a guy to look out for this season. I think any team at this level would love to have him, and the whole team seems to be gelling pretty well together. They didn't make too many changes in the summer, and I think it shows that they've kicked on again the start of this season. Having said that, East Stirlingshire almost came back and got something off them, and we can't forget that they're still a quality team as well, and they've just brought back Paul Sludden up front, who managed to do that thing of getting married, going on honeymoon and missing pre-season, so fair play to him. But again, he's a proven goal scorer and a proven good player at this level, and no doubt he'll help Shire push on as the season progresses. Yeah,
from what I read about the game, obviously Connor Green got the sort of a goal just before the sort of game was over, so it's a testament to Shire. Obviously they're a team that I don't think give up very often. They're obviously pushing, even say they're getting beat 3-1 by Colts, they're still obviously keen and willing to obviously go out and try and get a result from what I've seen.
Yeah, they're decent for getting a late goal every so often. They were last season as well. That, like you say, that never say die kind of attitude they've got. They never think they're beaten, which is exactly what you need.
Yeah, agreed. So, obviously there wasn't a lot of weekend matches to discuss, mate, but we'll sort of cover the cup games involving Lowland League teams. We'll start with the Iron Brew Cup game, East Kilbride versus Spartans, that went all the way to penalties. Obviously, East Kilbride 5-4 win on penalties. I think the most interesting thing, apart from maybe the game, obviously two sort of title rivals, we expect them probably both to be up there towards the end of the season. But the engraved banana. Did you manage to see? Did you see that?
I did see, and I noticed that off the ball, Stuart and Tam were talking about it as well. So it's obviously the word spread over Twitter about it. But it's something different.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The hospitality of East Kilbride seems great, but I'm not really sure myself about receiving an engraved banana. But yeah, a bit of banter from, as you say, something different, completely different. But yeah, East Kilbride, Spartans. I mean, penalty kicks are a lottery, really. From what I've seen, obviously, I think both teams, played really well. East Kilbride sort of came back into it sort of later in the game. It's going to be tough, I think, when these guys play each other in the league. If they are, who's going to come out on top? I think it could be either or. Obviously, East Kilbride have had a fantastic start, and Spartans have kind of struggled a wee bit early on, but they did have the Betfred Cup to deal with as well. So yeah, two good teams.
The other thing, just to touch on it very quickly, is it shows that East Kilbride won't have it all their own way this season. I know I've been one of the guys saying that realistically they've probably got arguably the best squad of any team in the league, but Spartans proven that you can go there, so not even at Ainsley Park, go to K Park and get a result against them, and by all accounts play pretty well into the bargain. So it's certainly interesting, and East Kilbride's reward for getting through that game was another good looking tie against Edinburgh City, who managed to win this league just a few years ago, and they've done well in establishing themselves in League 2. So again, it'll be a good yardstick on where East Kilbride are and where they want to be this year.
Agreed. And staying on East Kilbride, obviously we had the Football Nation Qualifying Cup first round. It was going to be interesting to see how the Lowland League teams came up against a lot of the East of Scotland teams, and as we said, East Kilbride won't have it their own way. They got beat by Jeanfield Swifts, probably the result of the weekend, I would say. 4-1 to Jeanfield Swifts. Certainly wasn't expecting that, and I don't think, from what I read from the teams, East Kilbride didn't really put out a weak team, so that's a really great result for Jeanfield.
Yeah, definitely. I think they did rotate a little bit because they had our friend from last week, Ross McNeil, starting and so on. But by all accounts, Jeanfield had one of their better lineups as well. But having said that, they made their changes when they went 2-1 down, and it didn't really happen for them. So we can't read too much into one cup result, as we've just said with the Spartans game there as well. But it was definitely an eye opener. Yeah,
I think with cup games, it's obviously somewhat. I don't like using the word shock, obviously, because I think anything can happen in cup games. You will get the sort of lower league teams. You see this throughout football, but lower league teams really up for the game against the bigger teams, and it's happened to more than East Kilbride this weekend. Obviously, Gretna got beat by Broxburn Athletic 4-3. Then you've got Oakley beating Vale of Leithen 4-3, and Gala Tranent Juniors 4-2. So bit of an eye opener to the cup games. Really, I see 4 Lowland League teams going out to teams below them in sort of league sort of leagues, if you will. Interesting, really, really. And I think that's one of the beauty of any sort of cup competition in football.
Yeah, and obviously with East of Scotland getting all these new teams this year, it goes to show that there's a lot of talent in this neck of the woods, kind of south of the halfway line in Scotland. So it's promising for the future in terms of promotion and relegation and so on. It'll keep things really interesting as the years go by.
Definitely, mate. Just sort of, we'll talk about some of the games that obviously Lowland teams did well in. Obviously, Spartans beating Hillabeef 4-2 at Kerrs Park. From what I've read, Hillabeef actually gave them a game. I know they obviously conceded 4 goals, but again, another sort of tough fixture, if you will, for for Spartans, and they obviously, as I said, they're up there in terms of Lowland League teams. Stirling Uni and Edinburgh Uni, obviously both Lowland League teams. Stirling ran out 4-1 winners there. Kelty Hearts beating Dalkeith Thistle 6-0, and I think Kelty Hearts rotated the team a wee bit as well. They had a couple under-20s playing as well, which is really good to see. Obviously a new thing for Kelty Hearts with the under-20s. It's good to see obviously some of the youth coming through and getting a chance as well. Yeah, interesting cup, interesting results as well, so it'll be interesting to see sort of where the cup competitions go and how teams sort of rotate their squads, as well as giving the under-20s a chance as well going forward.
Yeah, and the qualifying cup's always good for an interesting scoreline or two, especially this year, given it's such a bigger competition with all the new Easter Scotland teams in it, so I'll definitely be keeping tabs on it.
So that leads us on to the weekend's fixtures. We have, obviously, we're going to be talking more about the BSC Glasgow Kelty Hearts game, but we'll come on to that a wee bit later. We'll focus on the other fixtures for the time being. So we start off with Friday's game, Cumbernauld Colts versus Spartans. That's going to be an interesting one, given obviously the results. Cumbernauld Colts obviously doing so well, plus Spartans as well. So that's one to look out for on Friday night over at Broadwood.
Yeah, it seems funny that only 3-4 games into the season we're already talking about these kind of clashes as must-win games, but that one is a massive game this early in the season. So if you're around on Friday night, you're stuck for something to do, get yourself along to Broadwood, absolutely.
So Dalbeattie Star versus East Stirlingshire, that'll be an interesting one. Obviously Dalbeattie Star have had two tough away fixtures over in Edinburgh with Spartans and Civil Service. East Stirlingshire, obviously, they're still I think we kind of touched on it, but I think we're still waiting to see what they can do. Certainly I feel that'll be an interesting game as well. Dalbeattie Star obviously lost the last few games, so they're going to be looking for a win, plus Shire need to sort of press on as well. So
yeah. Again, it's a big game. Dalbeattie did start pretty well this season, and I'd expect him to fancy their chances of taking something here, but we'll see what Shire can do on the road.
Yep, agreed. And here's one for you, Mozza. Edinburgh Uni versus Gala Ferradine. You've obviously talked a lot about Gala and how you feel they sort of can press on. I think this could be a chance for them to pick up their first win in the league.
Yeah, I really should stop saying that I quite like Gala's squad, because I feel like I've been a jinx to them. Apologies, guys. But no, I do fancy them at some point to gel. Obviously, there's a lot of new faces. It's going to take a while for that to happen. And they've got a chance this weekend at Edinburgh Uni. But having said that, Dorian Agunro's obviously got his students set up in a way that they'll be looking to take at least a point as well. And they're pretty efficient at getting results here and there. So that's a really hard one to predict, that game.
Agreed. Also, the next sort of fixture I've got noted down here, Vale of Leithen versus Gretna. I think that's another one that's pretty hard to predict. I think Gretna are probably slight favourites, but Vale of Leithen obviously kind of down towards the bottom of the table. They need to start picking up wins and whatnot as well. So a bit very tough fixture as well. Welfare at East Kilbride. I fancy East Kilbride to get back to winning ways against Whitehill Welfare. Well, Whitehill, they've kind of been struggling since obviously their manager being sacked and whatnot. So I fully expect East Kilbride to get the win there over at Rosewell at Ferguson Park.
Yeah, having said that, I wouldn't necessarily count Whitehill Welfare out, because like you say, they had a tough time at the start of the season. They did manage to squeak a win out just at the weekend there. The one cup game we actually missed, I think, when they played at home to Lothian Thistle Hutchie Vale, who might be a bit weaker than they were last year. But having said that, a win's a win. They got a 2-1 win there, and they've also added Ryan Gay into their squad, a really decent midfielder, with, I think, Pennycooks, the team that most people will know him from, and he got a testimonial there just the other year. So very, very decent player, and if they can kind of push on from here, you never know, they might be able to squeeze something off of Kilby.
Yeah, certainly look forward to it. I think they do they would. I think they definitely need a win in the league. That would really push their season on a wee bit. I think they're. The last couple of episodes we've talked about teams that are obviously struggling, and they've certainly been amongst them. So it would be great to see them getting a result, especially against East Kilbride. Definitely. Civil Service, we kind of talked about them. They are in South Challenge Cup. You know, they won the competition last season. They're up against Wigtown and Bladnoch, so they don't have a league game at the weekend. University of Stirling versus Edisport. I quite fancy University of Stirling to get the win there, but Edisport they have shown that they can score a few goals. So I think it'll be an interesting one, that, but I do think University of Stirling will probably, I think they'll fancy their chances against Edisport.
Yeah, I think Chris Geddes has, as always, got his guys all well drilled and ready to go. Having watched Edisport there on the weekend, they do play some decent stuff. The one thing they were struggling with a little bit was the final ball. But they've definitely got talent at this level when you look through that team. Not just from the guys that have come over from France and so on. Like we mentioned, Maxwell Watto was the goal scorer. He's always a very, very solid fullback. And they've got one or two, Rafi Christian in centre defence. But Liam Coogan's up front is a guy that people will know from previous years. And he can put the ball in the back of the net when he gets a chance.
Yeah. So we do have some mid-week games as well that we can discuss. Gala, your favourite team, versus Whitehill. So that's a must-win for both clubs, I think, definitely. Away in Netherdale, so it's tough. It's going to be a tough game. I think both teams will be desperate to get it, depending on obviously what happens at the weekend as well. But certainly, I think a fixture that both teams will probably think they can win it, go out and win, definitely.
Do you know, pretty much every game in this league, when it boils down to it, both teams will fancy their chances of getting something. And that's the great thing about the Lowland League, because not only is it like the affordable league is obviously the thing that we always point out, that the entry fees compared to higher up leagues are night and day, but you're more than likely to see something competitive and something entertaining. So we're not just saying it for the sake of it when we're going through every fixture here, folks. We do actually mean that anyone could get a point in any of these games.
Yeah, agreed, mate. And just on that, Gretna versus BSC as well. Another one that, Gretna and BSC obviously both want to be higher up the table as well. So another fixture that both teams will go out hoping for the win. Plus we've got Kelty Hearts versus Edinburgh Uni at New Central Park as well. So a lot of fixtures, a lot of things coming thick and fast after the sort of cup games, if you will. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and then just to round everything off now, we've gone through the weekend and midweek games. We said at the very start of that list there, BSC at home to Kelty this coming Saturday, and the two of us will be there in force. We'll also have the Football Nomad with us as well, so if any of you are going to be there, or if you've got a spare Saturday, head down to Indodrill and say hello. We'll be around and be chatting, no doubt, and really looking forward to it.
Yeah, similar. I think it'll be a good day out. Obviously I'm expecting Kelty to win there. Quite happy that Kelty will win.
Right, go on then, put your neck on the line, give us a prediction.
I reckon, based on results, I think I'm at a disadvantage here because Kelty have only played 3 games. So it's going to be tough. I think Kelty will win 2-1. I think they'll win 2-1. I think what will happen in the game, just a prediction, I think BSC will go 1-0 up, and I think Kelty will come more and more into the game. And yeah, I think 2-1, definitely.
Well, there you go, folks. You heard it from him first, and I learned a long time ago not to make predictions when it comes to individual games, so I will leave it at that.
It's going to be interesting. It's definitely an interesting fixture. It's obviously always great to meet up with you, mate, and hear your opinions on things. And obviously, I hope not to have the same issues as I did at Spartans, obviously finding a pub to relax at. So.
I'll look after you, mate. Don't worry.
Just on that note, actually, someone gave me a wee bit of stick. I saw a comment saying someone, "Oh, how could you not find a pub in Edinburgh?" In fairness, I did find a pub in Edinburgh. It just took me about an hour and a half.
It is quite impressive to take over an hour to find a pub in the capital, but I digress.
No, it's going to be amazing meeting up with yourself next week for the BSC Celtic game. It's we're hoping to obviously add more to what we're doing with this, and certainly things like that. You know, it'll be interesting to hear sort of both of our opinions next week on the game and whatnot, and hopefully we have other things planned as well. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, and then obviously for anyone listening to this, just as we're beginning to finish up here, if you've got any feedback, any ideas, anything like that, please continue to keep them coming to us. And we really appreciate all the feedback we've had so far, and we'll continue to try and gear this to exactly what you want to hear. So let us know what you think.
Yeah, agreed. And on that note, Mr. I Love a Plug, what your plug time is here.
So plugs at MozzaPlays on Twitter, and if you're following me, also make sure you're following the official league account at official SLFL.
Brilliant. I've been RampantFM. I am at RampantFM on Twitter, and I also have my own YouTube channel at basically RampantFM as well. So easy does it. So that wraps up episode 3 of the Lowland League Catch-Up. As Mozza said, we are very thankful for all your support. We want to thank the Lowland League and Michael Park once again for allowing us to discuss our views, as well as hopefully entertaining you guys. We'll come back for episode 4 next week, as well as our much anticipated match review of BSC and Celtic. It's going to be good. Hopefully we can entertain you with more stories from our match experiences and whatnot. Yeah, until then, I will see you soon.